You know, we've requested you to come out here for a reason. Because I don't think the city, county chair from Cesar Chavez Boulevard east really give a damn.
New at 6, growing frustration for people living in Lents. 7 months after K2 News report on a massive homeless camp right next to the Indian Creek natural area, neighbors say it's even gotten worse.
The man you just heard from called K2 again last week. He wanted us to see what was happening a quarter of a mile from his home.
K2's Angelica Thornton went back out there to check it out. The camp's even bigger, and city officials told Angelica there's not much they can do about it right now.
Come through this way.
Mark Dahl beams with pride as he shows off his backyard in Southeast Portland.
It's our oasis.
But his tone turns to frustration and resignation when he talks about what's happening just down the road.
Nothing's changed. I don't know if you came up that way. Nothing has changed at all in 7 months, and nothing will change in the next 7 months, I'm sure.
This is what Southeast Knapp Street looked like when we first interviewed Dahl in December. Tents, trash, RVs, and chopped up cars stretching all the way down to Southeast Flavel. Police were there that morning. Officers told us they were recovering a stolen car. So this has been a cycle here.
Total cycle. Total cycle, ongoing, never ending, never better.
And now, in mid-July, there are even more RVs lining the road, and garbage, appliances, a burned-out boat with a sofa on top.
This is a safety hazard. It's a health hazard. Again, Knapp Falls, which is a joke, that natural preserve down there, which the city paid to put trails in, is nothing more than a restroom.
Just hours after we talked to Dahl again last week, this happened. An RV up in flames in the middle of the night. K2 photojournalist Mike Warner shot this video before firefighters even arrived.
That was my trailer. I was sleeping, waiting for a friend of mine to show up. I woke up and I didn't realize how big the fire was.
Jonathan Singer told us he's been living at the camp for 2 weeks and he lost everything in that fire.
We don't want to be here. We want normal lives. We're trying really hard, but once you sink to a certain point, everything is so hard. Like, for me to get a charge on my phone, like my phone's burned. I don't have a phone right now, but when I have a phone, to get a charge, I have to find a place with electricity that will let me do it. Like, I have to get the money together to get a cup of coffee to sit at Denny's to plug in to get a charge.
Do you think it's getting better?
No, I do not think it's getting better.
Terry Emmert says he's discouraged by what's happening on Southeast Knapp. You might recognize him. He owns Emmert International, a heavy hauling company.
These are some of our rigging buildings where we store rigging.
But the Clackamas County tycoon also dabbles in lots of other business ventures. He was the owner of the Portland Chinooks and the Portland Thunder, and he's been developing property in Southeast Portland for decades.
That whole street should be posted no parking, because nothing good happens up there at night if you allow parking to begin with.
Emmert is the guy who moved more than 50 homes to this neighborhood in Lents. He says he never imagined it would end up looking like this.
The homeowners up there have reached out to us and said, you know, can you help us? What can we do? And I said, well, you know, it's up to the city. We can't personally go tow something that's on a city street.
K2 reached out to Mayor Ted Wheeler's office. A spokeswoman for the Impact Reduction Program told us they're aware of the RVs and campers along this stretch of road, acknowledging they tend to return again and again. She said they've sent teams to assess each site and have removed them, and they're putting this back on their regular visitation schedule this week. But the statement also said, while IRP has been receiving many reports about Knapp Street, we're limited in our removal efforts since so much of the camping here is vehicle camping. Lived-in vehicles need to be towed by PBOT's vehicle inspection team. PBOT's limited resources and the time-intensive nature of tow operations means that the work of removing camps with vehicles associated lags far behind demand, unfortunately. Bottom line, Lents has to live with this for now.
It's a joke that I'm paying a huge amount of property taxes that go up there 3% a year, and this never changes, ever changes, hasn't changed. It's increased since we've been here.
Mark Dahl says after 5 years of reporting problems to the city and seeing the same cleanup and outreach on repeat, he's done.
At what point do you and your wife say enough is enough, we're out of here?
Oh, I look at homes all the time on real estate. I told my wife yesterday, okay, there's a home in Damascus, 1 story, perfect for us, let's go.
Out of steam and ready to walk away from his retirement dream. In Southeast Portland, Angelica Thornton, K2 News.
Do you have a story to tell us about our city in crisis? You can send an email to cityincrisis@katu.com or leave a voicemail at 503-231-4206.